My dreams grow darker. Does evil come from within us or from beyond?
I'm really curious, when you work with an artist,
Yeah.
what Robert Eggers has special based on his in the request that he has for you? Because you work with Norman now, Nosferatu, which it's impressive. So, what is the biggest difference that Robert Eggers has as an artist, as a creator?
That's a really interesting question. He's different in the sense that he has he because he usually writes the material, he knows it inside out, back to front. So he has enormous amount of knowledge that he isn't necessarily sharing with you, but he wants to get from A to Z.
Yeah.
and so he's kind of taking you on a journey, and you respect that, and you appreciate that you don't need to know everything, you know. And then when things do come along, he will interject and let you know this and let you know that, and it's terrific. It's eye-opening usually because it's based on his historical knowledge, and gravity of that. So it's a delight working with him, and quite unusual.
I think he's not a big fan of modern times because all his four films are like in an era. It's back then. It's like something in the past. So he likes
Yeah,
this is a hard work. Like this is like a research work basically also too.
yeah, yeah. It's a lesson in history as well for us. If we're not, we kind of jump on board and we start doing our historical, looking and research. And it is like a journey. You're literally driven into this kind of, you begin to become obsessed with the time and the people and the nature. You're transported yourself in order to get the vibe and understand what it is that he wants. It's very interesting and immersive working with Robert Eggers.
One of the beautiful things about this film, Nosferatu, it's we don't see Orlok right away. We see
No.
Orlok in a process.
Yeah.
It's a process. First, and it's a lot of shadows, a lot of darkness, and his
Yeah.
voice is super interesting also. How was that working? Because I know he spent a lot of Bill Skarsgård spent 4 hours, uh, getting everything on it. But how was that different Orloks that you have to create to show Eggers' vision? Because there's an Orlok when he raised from the grave. There's an Orlok at the end of the movie. There's an Orlok
Yeah.
when we see him for the first time. There's an Orlok with clothes. There's an Orlok
Yeah.
naked. There's a different
Yeah.
Orloks. How do you
Yeah.
design and create all these Orloks?
That's a really cool question. Ultimately, I have, once the sculpt is completed and signed off by Robert, I make a mold of that sculpt, and I create these busts that are made of the same material that Bill Skarsgård is going to be wearing, and then they're painted in different ways. From the beginning of his journey to mid to the end of his journey. So, and then those items are then put on film, and then Robert can figure out how that works, and we can make adjustments. So I give him everything possible to not have an unnecessary surprise during the movie. He knows what's coming because he's seen a version of it. And it also gives him an opportunity to change things and move things around. So it is a strange kind of musical journey, from the beginning, from the coloration and the texture, right the way to the end.
Well, everything started, I remember, with the trailer. Because in the trailer,
Yeah,
we see a hand, we see something. And that journey, that mentality, because I'm a huge fan of the movie from 1941. Then I remember they made a shadow of Nosferatu. And and now we have William Dafoe in the movie, and now we have William Dafoe
yeah,
in this movie. So, and also working with other actors because you have to put mustache, you have to make them different. So how was the work also with other actors? Because you have to create a character along with the script and along with the actor.
yeah, yeah. It's true. The actor inhabits that character, and they bring what they can to that project, and what they don't, then the costume and the makeup and Robert's guidance is going to get the rest. It's a wonderful kind of journey because everybody's in the same vibe. They all want the same thing. It's a bit like going in a time machine, when you're going on set. Yeah, it really is. And even, Robert sometimes has music playing in the background, which is really spooky, kind of just ambient music, which is very dark, and it immerses you. It's quite extraordinary. I think the actors have the same, as well as the technical crew, as we all are together in this strange journey.
It is more challenging for you because the movie is black and white. The Norman is a really full color movie. So it's a different challenge for you as because you are a creator too. So this is different challenge for you. Knowing that this film is gonna be black and white versus knowing that a movie will be shot in a full color 4K and whatever is coming now, the IMAX.
Yeah, it's very different. And when you find, we had to do a lot of tests early on, especially with blood, because we're all obsessed with the blood. I've got many different kinds of thickness of blood and also the coloration. And these colors, they work really differently. If you have a blue blood and put it in a blue filtered light, it goes black. So, and you find that some bloods in a candlelight react differently and go really dark. So you have to up the amount of orange in the blood. There's many different kind of processes to go through to make sure that everything reads the way it needs to read for this very mute kind of world.
Movie is a collaborative art. It's a group of that is a result of many people, many talented people when something like this work. And something important, and I believe it's trust. How much that Robert Eggers trusts on his team and trust in you. Because when I say trust, it's gonna be a lot of close up. It's gonna be a lot of movement. It's gonna be a lot of interaction. That final sequence with Lily Deb, to me, it's super important, creepy, because it's the result of everything that we're expecting in the movie. And how much trust there was behind everything.
At the end of the day, as I said before, Robert is juggling many different things in his mind. So you have to, for a start, you have to take that into account. So whatever you're presenting or whatever your pitch is for whatever, he has other issues going on that will change it. So you have to be very flexible, and ultimately we trust Robert. He knows what he wants, and and we're very fortunate that he trusts us to be able to deliver and bring forward what we can to the project. And he some things he may not want, he may not need, blah blah blah, but we all kind of work to the same goal, which is to get Robert what he wants. That's our ultimate goal as a team surrounding Robert. And it's kind of nice. It's kind of good. You want to support somebody because he supports you. It's really interesting dynamic.
I have seen the movie twice, just for closer. I have to see the movie twice. I watched it at home and I watched it in a movie theater. And the experience, man, I watched it in the movie theater for the second time. And it was a different experience. It's an experience. And
bigger, better in the movie theater, yeah?
Yeah. And when I watch movie like this is a gift for us, for the audience, for the people that loves movie. And I just want to say thank you, David, because this is a masterpiece.
Thank you for everyone that loves it so much.
It's an outstanding work, and I'm just looking forward for what next for you and Robert.
Thank you.